Mindiff is a Spanish studio that has been working on an ambitious project for the last 5 years, the Immortal Mystics. A MOBA that arrives with the intention of giving a small twist to the genre, betting on those characteristics that its own creators would love to see in other titles. This was told in a talk in which we could discover the project in motion and attend several games of a game that promises. They themselves told us that they are already old and that they perceived that the rest of MOBAs required 2 characteristics that they no longer have: many reflexes and a lot of free time. Games like League of Legends Heroes of the Storm have many micro-handles, very specific demands when it comes to being able to enjoy the games at a competitive level. From Mindiff, they wanted to promote another idea, and that team play was much more important than these small individual flashes. Faster games for busy players and a much faster line of learning than in other titles in the genre. A good cover letter for the Immortal Mystics, which also seeks to satisfy the most puristic players, ideal for beginners in the genre and for busy players. The Immortal Mystics is a MOBA with all the letters. That these initial inquiries do not make you think that it is a game that seeks to simplify the rules and needs of other games on the market. In fact, the study itself commented that in the first years of development they focused on creating the basis for a game of the genre with all the elements intact, taking as a reference other great ones in the sector. It has been the last 2 years where they have dedicated themselves to adjusting the experience and adding the most personal elements that make the experience unique. Although it has yet to be officially announced and they did not give us many details, Mindiff assured us that in addition to the traditional game modes, the Immortal Mystics will incorporate an additional mode designed for the most casual players or for those who want a different experience with the genre. They will be unique maps with their own rules and limitations, so in each of them we will have to face the games in different ways. In about 5 minutes, we will enjoy these small experiences that seek to find another type of audience that does not want to face just another MOBA on the market, but let's go to what we are going to. Have we really noticed that the Immortal Mystics is different and original? The game is still in an alpha beta state, so work will continue on it. The release of its open beta on PC is expected by the summer of 2021, where the game will already appear with all the planned features, store, skins, and will begin to work as a product. We have perceived that the games are faster than those of other MOBAs, about 20 minutes, and that many features have been incorporated to make competitive confrontations somewhat lighter and more dynamic. For example, teleports have been incorporated that, at the cost of points that will increase as the game progresses, we will be able to return immediately to the line where we were before dying or returning to the base. Everything suggests that additional speed that will convince players who do not want to spend much time in each game, but without losing the deepest features at a playable level. Because we insist, the Immortal Mystics is a MOBA with all the consequences. There will be more than 20 heroes. Right now they have a total of 28 developed, but they will not release all on the first day, and 3 maps for the launch day. All heroes will have their own roles, recognizable within the genre, different special abilities, and a series of unique features that will completely vary the way we play with them. The Immortal Mystics has an interesting armor system that we can customize and that will completely change the statistics of each character, even those that are the same. In addition, it will invite the player to play games to try to get different ones. These armors will be chosen before starting the game and will allow the character to fill his gaps with different gems. These will enhance some specific statistics, but it will depend on where in the body they are located. That is, depending on the role and class of the character, it will be convenient for us to have armor with holes in certain places, which will encourage us to get those that we think can marry better with each of them. However, this will result in combinations and multiple strategies, because as the studio itself indicated, the Immortal Mystics attaches great importance to team play. Key to elementary skills, the Immortal Mystics, in addition to this armor system, incorporates elementary skills that we also choose at the beginning of each game. This will allow us to choose between fire, water, earth, wind, and other natural elements to be able to carry out special attacks with the F of this type, but focused on the combination with those of our companions. If we do it closed, both ours and our partners, even if they are different, will be combined, allowing the attacks to be even more devastating. This leads us to the importance of companionship and acting with strategy, since this type of combo can only be performed if both players have the action available. For those who ask, this type of action can also be limited to avoid trolling or problems with certain players at the multiplayer level. For example, you can select that your elemental skill is only shared with some specific players to limit their actions. Everything Mindiff has proposed seeks cooperation and communication, which will be key to obtaining victory beyond the individual capacity of the best players. But, with all these strategic elements, isn't the duration of the games prolonged and the speed and dynamism that was being sought avoided? Indeed, that's why the studio itself has been very aware of this, and new minions and different roles have been incorporated in the games to boost speed despite these original brush strokes, which require cooperation and patience to find the right time, wait for the typical minions that provide gold to the group and experience to level up, bosses, towers, the nuclei in each base that must be destroyed to win the game. The definitive skills of each character. Any player who has enjoyed a MOBA will be able to enter the Immortal Mystics without any problem, discovering these differentiating points as incentives to enjoy a known but refreshing experience. A motor of its own, a lot of experience and quality guarantee in the studio. Mindiff has had 2 lines of development in recent years at its headquarters in Tenerife and Malaga. The first has worked on the Immortal Mystics, while the second has continued to perfect the technology of its own engine, Plague, which has been behind it for 20 years, generating RTS and RPG video games, to which they recently migrated to the MOBAs for this project. A very specific engine for the genre they are going to license, very specialized and with enormous potential. More than 60 people have worked in total during these years on both projects, which evidences the magnitude and importance of the video game. It will be this summer of 2021 when we can access those more than 20 heroes, 3 maps, 7 roles and more than 100 objects from the in-game store, to which skins and cosmetics of different types will also be incorporated. Although there is still nothing fully defined, and it will be time and players who mark the destiny of the Immortal Mystics. The studio is excited and already told us about its intention to incorporate heroes continuously, skins and all kinds of content, in addition to updating that other game mode more focused on casual players to whom they also want to open a door. The Immortal Mystics has incredible potential. It seems that it will work very well as an initial MOBA with a much faster and less demanding learning curve than the great exponents of the current genre, along with all the characteristics that focus on the importance of teamwork ahead of individual flashes and on not exhausting the player with excessively long games. It can be the beginning of something truly immortal.